Hey.
Hey girl,
Hi.
how are ya?
Good. Hopefully people join.
It's okay. I was like, oh my gosh, like every time I do the like Instagrams, I'm like, okay. It's just so different. How's
Yes.
everything going?
Going good.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So you
Yeah.
have an office in Fulton and Columbia, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Well, my Columbia office isn't ready yet, but it will be.
Oh, well, that's exciting though. How many people do you have in your group?
3 of us.
Three of us? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exciting.
So when 11 comes, I'll admit everybody and then we'll get started. I
Okay.
think there was like 10 that signed up.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully. I sent out another email reminder like less than an
Yeah.
hour ago.
I know everybody at work yesterday, after you said the thing about spring break, I was like, yeah, like literally everybody's like leaving next week too.
I know. I'm worried. Yeah. Usually we have anywhere from 10 to 50 people on these, but
Yeah.
it gets like the spring market's so busy for agents. I'm a little worried.
Well, that's awesome. That's a pretty good turnout, girl.
Yeah. I'll mute mine.
Hey.
Well, my whole team is here, so I don't let them in yet. So I guess if no one else shows, we'll be good for the team.
It's okay.
Yeah, today off. You're muted. Oh, you're okay. You can. I wish I could figure out how to. In some of our other trainings, they do music to it, but I don't know that I'm that savvy yet.
Oh, girl, I would have no idea. I'm like on Facebook, like Googling, like, how do I do this? It's definitely a learning process. Like
Yeah.
Instagram, everything, I'm like, okay. Yeah, I think every time I use Zoom too, it's like I have to like re-download it every time.
Really,
Yes.
the updates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
every single time I'm like, so I get on there super early because I know I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to.
I have Marissa. I'll give it a few more minutes and let them.
Are you going anywhere for spring break?
Our kids don't have spring break until
Oh,
um oh it's like Easter.
oh, dang. I know some people had them like the first week of like March too. I was like, I feel like that's so early.
Yeah, it is. So I doubt we'll go anywhere. I'm gonna send out a mass text to real quick and then before Easter. I just sent it out. All right, well, I'll just start letting people in and then we'll just get started.
Okay.
I'll just give it a minute. Might just be us today with spring break next week. So
Well, that's okay.
let's just give it a few more minutes. I'll just give it
Okay.
till 2 more minutes and we'll get started.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. My niece is here because she's sick today. And I
Oh,
was like, you're gonna have to leave my room. I do. She's like, why?
oh, that's cute.
This is distracting me.
Do you babysit her a lot?
Oh yeah. I have her all the time.
Yeah.
But it's okay. She's pretty self-sufficient. She was
How
like,
old is
"What
she?
she'll be 8 in June, which is crazy. I
Oh,
cannot believe she's gonna be 8.
It's a good looking background you got there, Laura.
Thank you.
it
I have to leave mine on mute, otherwise Cheryl and I echo.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and get started, I guess. I'll just
Okay.
jump in. I just sent out a message to I have like 45 on my email group. Okay. So Ashlee, why don't you just give a brief introduction and what you do and give us a little
Okay.
fact.
All right. Well, happy Friday. Thank you guys for joining. And Cheryl,
And
thank
real
you for
quick,
this opportunity. Yes.
this is recorded, so I will be putting
Okay.
this on YouTube and a lot of people can watch the replay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
Perfect.
get a lot of views from that.
Okay. Make me more nervous. Just kidding. Okay. So thank you for having me. So my name's Ashlee. I think most of you guys know me on here. But so I'm a wellness coach. I got my personal trainer this winter. I'm also a dermatology nurse. So absolutely love nursing. But I really got into like mental health, like mindset work, especially with my fitness journey. Just because I realized like everybody can do like the workouts, but it's really like being consistent and pushing yourself. And like the one thing I think that was holding me back for years was myself. And most times when I come into contact with clients, it is like their self, like they're literally holding their self back. So I like created a whole program with like one-on-one mentorships to really help like create like a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. But we focus so much on mindset. It's not something that just like happens overnight. Like this is like weeks and weeks, like months of like growing in this process. So it's like brought me like so much joy, and just to see like the milestones of like my clients like makes me so incredibly happy, and just like feel like I have like a purpose and I'm like doing the right thing, just like seeing their wins. So super like in love with this. So just happy to be here and be able to share like this journey with everybody.
Yeah. And so you mentioned like you're very focused on mindset and positivity. And that's
Yes.
something that like you yourself said that very many of us struggle with. So like what are some of the key activities and mindset that have given you success in your life?
So I feel like before I could have something like bad happen and I would let that ruin my day, like ruin my week, just let it like spiral out of control. So like I'm really big on like gratitude, affirmations, just like setting your intention like for the day, which is huge. But just like the time you get up, just being positive, like you're gonna set your day up for success, like, and just setting your day up with that intention, like anything that you are like faced with, like you have all the skills to take that on, like because you're gonna run into inconveniences, like nothing's ever gonna be perfect. If it was, we would never have any like work to do. So I think just trying to stay positive, redirect your thoughts, like that's major.
Yeah, I think that's something we all struggle with. And I know, even in our coaching and stuff that I've done through real estate, they're always like gratitude affirmations, like your goals, your mindset. And so many
Yes.
people I don't think realize like how how big that is in fulfilling your dreams and goals and what you want.
Oh, for sure.
So like, at what point did you decide to really go for your goals in life, and how do you stay on track with that? Like, what do you tell people who are struggling even to start?
So, as scary as it is, like I would say, just get started, because you're never going to have like the perfect time, like at all. And like for me, I was just at a place where I was so unhappy, like I was stagnant, like I wasn't doing anything. And I knew if I kept doing the same things that I was doing, I was going to be stuck where I was or in an even worse place. So, just taking that first step and like getting started, and then like looking back and just seeing all the great things that have came from like stepping out of that fear of being comfortable. Like I'm just so blessed and like thankful that I started. And like, I mean, that is the one thing I would tell anyone. Like, if you are scared, like go for those goals. Like you are capable of anything, like you set your mind to, and like just keep going. Like don't give up on yourself. Like you deserve like all the happiness in the world. And like what you see somebody else doing, you're fully capable of doing the same thing or going above and beyond that. So like I think that's where like you can't trap yourself in a box. Like you just can't.
Yeah, I love that, stepping out of like your fear of being comfortable, because that's
That's like the biggest thing, because that's like that's what you know, and that's like what you want to go back to every time something happens that you're uncomfortable or trigger. You go back to what you know.
Yeah, one of my mentors always says the magic happens when you step out of your comfort zone. And
Yes.
I think that is so true. And I love that you touched upon that. And so like, especially in the real estate market, it's so full of ups and downs, and we're busy and fast, and the market slow, we're going 1,000 miles an hour, and then the market slowed down. And how do you stay crystal clear and consistent when you experience ups and downs and influences from outside the world? And like, what advice would you give to others?
So I would definitely say, like definitely reevaluate your goals. You want long-term goals, and then you want your short-term goals as well. But you need to like dial in, get so specific on your goals, like every detail that you can put into it, like do that. And don't look at it that you're like failing or you're behind. Like this is a process. This is a growth process. This is a learning process. So even if you think that you're failing, like redirect that perspective. You're learning, like, and you're going to continue to learn. So when you can like flip that mindset from that like fixed mindset, which is like, I can't, like things like that, into that growth mindset, which like I'll achieve, like I can, I will, like that's when you're going to be like unstoppable. And you're going to run into things that are happening all the time. Like things are not going to be perfect. It's just how you react and what you continue to do. Because like the work that you're putting in today, like your future self is gonna thank you for that. Like you have to keep putting in the work and showing up for yourself, because no one else is gonna do that for you.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And so like we're 3 months into the year, and everybody starts the year out, right, with like these big goals. This is going to be the year they change their life, and we fail quickly. And so like, what advice would you give to someone who's starting to fall behind on their goals, whether it be, financial, fitness, diet, anything?
Okay, so I would go back. So just definitely still like reevaluate those goals, but write down what you have accomplished, because you might not have hit like that major milestone. But if you can go back and write down all the things that you have done up until this point, you're going to be like, wow, I've really been kicking butt, like doing big things. Like, even though it's not like that one milestone that you have, like you're going to get there. You're going to accomplish that. You just have to keep going and believing in yourself.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? You can drop them in the chat as we get going, or feel free to jump in.
And then like also like I feel like with clients, like I mean for my fitness groups too, like a lot of times we'll get discouraged like after a month or so. I'm like, give yourself some grace, give yourself some time. Like everything comes in time. Like don't give up. Like you have to keep going. Like you can't let a timeline like define you, so you just have to keep going and pushing through.
Yeah. So, and do you yourself have coaches, or, because I know you coach and
Yes.
you're accountable. Do you have coaches and accountability partners?
Yes, I do. And that's like what helped me, I think, the most in my journey was having that mentorship, because you need that support. You need that support system. Everybody needs support. I don't care if it's like your personal life, your like career, like you need support. So like I continue, which sometimes I'm like, this is wild, but I continue to invest in mentorship time after time again. If that's with my business, I do like sober coaching too. Like I continue to do that. But I feel like if you're investing in yourself, people are going to see that. They're going to be drawn to your energy too, because like, I feel like if you're not investing in yourself, like others are not going to invest in you either. And they can just like tell like your energy too, like what you're putting out there, the sincerity of it. And then I also would just say like, to draw others in, like you just need to be different. They don't want the same thing they see all the time. So like be yourself, be unique, be weird.
And I think we've already kind of touched on this maybe a little bit. Your business, it focuses on helping others and staying accountable, living a healthy goals and oriented lifestyle. How do you help hold other people accountable other than, I know you touched on gratitude and and
So I like have my clients, we do journaling like prompts each week, because I like for them to go back and see where they started too, because like I feel like at times that you're feeling defeated, you can go back and see like how far you really came. So they do have like access to me. I'm not holding their hand, but I am like helping keep them accountable, like helping guide them a little. But I feel like part of it too is that failing, because they're growing during that process. So I feel like it's okay to let them fail so they can learn. But we also focus on their why. Like I make them get so detailed in their why, because when they are feeling defeated, like they can go back and read that and know like why they started. So I feel like that's like a major like driving factor in anything you're doing.
right. Well, and keeping just that why there.
Oh yes.
Forget about it sometimes.
Oh yeah. That vision boards, like I love those. So
yeah, we did those over Christmas. I made our
I've
whole
got
team.
mine back there.
That's awesome.
I love it.
We've even got our kids. They have a vision now. And
Oh, really? I love that.
yeah, it's of a pool.
Oh, that's okay. Hey,
yeah.
I think I've got one of mine.
They remind us not to spend our money, so we're saving for that.
Cool. That's
They're
great.
our accountability partners.
There you go. There you go. There's your support. Your reminder every day.
Yeah, they're good at that. Is there any other piece of advice you would give?
I would say do not let fear hold you back from starting, like from reaching your goals. Like it's just a place to stay comfortable in. And then no goal's too big to reach. Like you can do it, but the best advice is just get started. Who cares what people think? Just get started. Like you do you. Like, yes. I think that's the best advice I could give.
And I think that's the hardest part, getting started.
It is.
That's the hardest, like just doing it and taking that jump and that leap.
It is so hard, but it's so worth it. So worth it.
That's awesome. Does anybody have any, well, this was great. I really appreciate it. I think we don't put enough weight on mindset, and even in our business, it's just all like,
Yeah.
where's the next lead, what's the next business opportunity, what's the next shiny object, when it really all just comes down to mindset and focus, and like you'll be successful regardless of what systems, what leads you have, like what connections you have, where you started in life. And that mindset thing is something I don't think we coach on enough or don't push enough. And I think I know I struggle with it too all the time. And I think it's the hardest thing for everyone.
Oh, it is. And I mean, I struggle with it still. Like I struggle with it. Like things come up every day, but I feel like sometimes we are chasing the next thing, and we're not like being present in the moment for like everything that we do have going on, all the good things that we do have. But I feel like it's easy, especially with social media, just to get caught up in the next thing, like what we're going to do next, and not even process like what's going on now.
Yeah. And then Laura asks, what do most of your clients choose as their first step or their first goal?
Their first goal? Well, a lot of mine, it is fitness. So I would say like most of the times it is weight loss, but honestly, we start like, I'll go through like an entire routine with them. And like, I'll have them like, I want every second of your day, and we'll go through, and they don't realize it. So I do action steps each week, but honestly, it's just building a routine for them, making them start being consistent and just like believing in themselves, because they can have that weight loss goal, but without any of that, like, it's just never gonna come. So I would say just basically being consistent, getting a routine, and then working on their mindset. But I don't think people are worried about that in the beginning until they start getting into it.
Yeah, I can see that. Actually, consistency is our word of the year.
Well, there you
Focus
go.
on it. Yeah,
Got to keep showing up.
that on the board.
Hey, Ashley, I love what you. Hey, I got a question. I love what you
Yeah.
say about showing appreciation and gratitude every day. And I definitely feel that, but I also feel, and I'm sure your clients do too, sometimes it's easier on some days than it is on other days.
Oh, definitely.
So is there any exercise that you have that to kind of make that a daily routine that you like to
Yes,
talk
I
about?
actually had an activity I wanted to do if we had time, but I feel like on the hardest days when you are struggling with that, that's the best time to do it. But like personally for me, and like I'll have them do that with like their journaling like in the beginning of the day. So like it's kind of like a morning routine, like write down 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things that like bring you joy, and then um like setting their intention for their day, like their affirmation.
Okay.
So I think that just sets your whole entire day up for success. And if you can do that and just stay like on a ritual with that, you're going to set yourself up like for success for the day. You're going to feel so much better about your day.
Love it. Awesome.
Yeah, and so Marissa said, so you practice gratitude, and what are some affirmations you practice? So like,
some affirmations. So like I would say like for affirmations, like one that I have that I like practice daily is like, so like I do sticky notes, like, and I would tell anyone to do this. Get sticky notes, get a pen, like whatever you're feeling, write it down. Like if you are anxious about something that day, like say, I am confident, I am powerful, I am fully capable to take this on. But like one that I have wrote down, I have like, my life is full of abundance. I'm fully equipped to take on anything that comes my way. I read that every morning because it just helps me like get through, because I know I'm going to face stuff throughout the day, and it just helps me get through the day and just makes it a positive day. It makes me feel confident. So I would definitely recommend getting post-it notes, placing them on your mirror. And it can be as simple as I'm worthy, I'm confident, any of those for affirmations.
yeah, awesome. So what was the thing that you were gonna have us?
Oh, I was just gonna have you guys do a little activity. But I just wanted you to write like 3 things that bring you joy. Like mine, I said nature, music, and then just talking to a friend. And then 3 things that you're thankful for. And then 1 goal for the next 3 months. Because earlier you had asked about like key activities for success too. Like obviously your environment and like who you're surrounding yourself with is going to make a huge difference. But like reading like self-improvement books, podcasts, that's going to like be so good for your mental health too.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, big on reading. So
Yeah, do you have any, like, do you have like any must-read books or books you recommend?
I like Atomic Habits. I think that's James Clear. And then I really liked this Living Untethered. It's so good to kind of like remove yourself from like situations. It's kind of like learning your like thought processes and like reprogramming like what you know. It's really, really good. Love it.
It's in the chat. Except I can't spell untethered.
And then I like The Alchemist. It's a really good book. That's a good one. I think everyone should read that.
The what? The Optimist?
The Alchemist, yeah.
Oh,
Good one.
I love you guys dropping your chat. Like, what are your 90-day, 3-month goals? Actually, another coach, a real estate specific coach we're working with, that he's very focused on like 90-day pictures.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think it really helps because a year is a long time, and a year
Yes,
goal.
it is. And so much can happen in those like micro moments leading up to it. Another thing that you can do for yourself, which I love, like I personally love to do, I know like my clients like to do it too, is writing a letter to yourself in a month with what you want to accomplish, and then putting a date on it when you can read it, and then go back and read it and see what you did.
Oh,
So it's kind of like a little love letter to yourself, but love that. It's kind of nice to like see what you were inspired by and like what you wanted to happen, and then see what you made happen.
yeah. In mind. Be active for at least 60 minutes every day.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be warm, so you can get outside. I hope it's warm soon.
Speaking of activity, you know what I just saw rolling up outside our window?
What?
Seesaw for sight.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go seesaw for a while. I think that
There you go.
that today there's some activity.
That's so funny. Remember that.
Yeah. It was funny. Yeah, I just saw that walking in. I was like, whoa, flashback.
That's so funny.
Anyways, well, I greatly appreciate you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Mindset and focus is such a huge thing we're focusing on this year. And just focusing on with success. And I think it's so underrated how important it is.
Yeah, it
People
really
don't
is.
talk about it, as people just don't talk about it. You know, it doesn't, it's not selling products.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate it. And again, this will be recorded. We'll have the replay up
Okay.
on YouTube and send it out so anybody can watch it. Anyways, thank you so much. And if anybody wants her information, I'll email the replay out and give your contact info so people can
Okay.
reach out directly as well. But anyways, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Everybody
you so
has
much.
a good weekend and a good spring break. If I know some people have spring break next week, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. Bye.